Hello everyone, this is Glenda and welcome back to Creative Grandma. Today's crochet tutorial is going to be for pattern number 558, the Christmas flower dishcloth. So before I do this pattern in this tutorial, I need to do a special shout out to my new patrons of my channel. I want to say a special thank you to Robin Ellis, Tammy Nestor, and Patty Wheat. Thank you so much, Robin, Tammy, and Patty. If you are interested in becoming a patron of my channel, you can click the link below this video and get more information on the perks of becoming a patron. So let's get on to showing you this pattern. This is a beautiful dishcloth pattern for the holidays, and I made some other samples so you can see how you can change the colors to suit your home decor. So my first sample is made using the red and white traditional Christmas colors. So this is my first sample. My second sample, I just changed and used solid colors in blue and yellow. Whoops, that's the wrong side. So here's one where just two different colors. So maybe if you have a blue kitchen, you can use blue and white, beige and blue for country. So it gives it a little bit different look. Now the other pattern I done is in this beautiful multicolor with white. So look at the difference when you use the multicolor. It brightens it up, almost like looks Eastery, spring-like. And for this one, I used the Sugar and Cream Lily yarn. This was color number 2510. I'm not seeing a color name on it. It's just a beautiful it's Candy Sprinkles Ombre. So beautiful ombre color for the dishcloth. Now the one thing I wanted to say about this dishcloth, now I used the white and I used two different colors, changing colors with every stitch. But if you didn't want to do this, and this is one of the reasons you shied away from this pattern, you can just use that multicolor and let it change colors if you have a multicolor, and just do those single crochets without alternating your colors. So for this project, I'm going to use Premier Home Cotton. I'm just using pink today. I'm using color number 3808, pastel pink, and I just grabbed a skein of my white that I had left over from another project. So I'm using pink and white. You're also going to need a size H8 crochet hook or a 5mm. And that's all you're going to need for this pattern. Now I did forget to say that this is a 9-inch dishcloth, so a really nice size for doing the dishes. So I'm going to grab my yarn, get my hook ready, and I'll be back and we'll get this project started. To begin this project, you're starting with your white, and you're going to attach your yarn to your hook. Now I just used a double knot. You can use whichever method you prefer to start to put your yarn on your hook. We're going to begin and we're going to chain 4. You're going to yarn over the hook and pull it through the loop on your hook. This creates your first chain. The loop on your hook does not count as a chain. Yarn over, pull through, that's 2. Yarn over, pull through, that's 3. Yarn over, pull through, and that's 4. Now we're going to form a ring, so we're going to skip those next 3 chain, insert into that last chain from hook, the 4th chain, and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that chain, and pull through the loop on your hook. And what that does is create a small ring, and we're going to be working our stitches right in the center of that ring. Now we're going to begin and work round 1, and what I'm going to do is hold this piece of yarn that when we started our chain, I'm going to hold it right up against my work, and I'm going to crochet through the center of that ring and around that piece of yarn, and that helps me weave in my end. We're going to start with the chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This beginning chain 4 counts as our first double crochet and then a chain 1. Now we're going to start the repeat. The repeat is we're going to work a double crochet into the center of this ring and then chain 1, and we're going to do that 8 times. So let's begin. yarn over the hook, insert right into the center of your ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. You just made your first double crochet. You're going to chain 1. That was our first repeat of 8. So let's do it again. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same center of that ring, and work a double crochet. You're going to chain 1. That's 2 of the 8 repeats. I'll show you one more time. Yarn over the hook, insert back into the center of that ring, and work a double crochet. Chain 1. That's 3 of 8. So now you can click back on the video if you need help, and you need to work 1 double crochet into the center of the ring and chain 1. You need to do that 5 more times. I'll meet you at the end of round 1 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 1, and you should have your beginning chain 4, and then you should have 8 double crochets with a chain 1 after. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you ended with that chain 1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip my work over, and you can see that I worked over that end all the way around. So I'm just going to take my scissors and snip that off before I join my round. Now we're going to join, and we're going to go to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 4. You're going to count up 1, 2, 3, insert into that 3rd chain and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that chain, and pull through the loop on your hook. I'm going to fasten off, and I'm just going to let my ends hang. I'll weave them in when I'm all finished. I chain 2, 1, 2. I take my hook and pull my yarn out, grab that piece of yarn, take your 2 fingers, pinch it, pull it down, and it creates a secure knot. So now I'm going to grab my pink, and I'll be back, and we'll get round 2 started. I have my pink, and I'm just going to leave about a 6 to 8 inch length. I really like those longer lengths to come back and knot and weave in my ends. So for this round, I'm going to take my white, hold it up against my work, and I'm going to crochet right over that strand while I'm working my stitches. For round 2, we're only working in the chain 1 spaces. We're skipping the double crochets. So we're going to be working 3 double crochet together in each chain 1 space around. Now the first set of 3 double crochet together will be made a little differently because we're chaining 2 for that first double crochet. You're going to insert your hook into that first chain 1 space. Hold your white yarn right up against your work, and we're going to be working over it. Take your hook, grab that new color, and pull it through. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and this acts as the first double crochet, and you're leaving the last loop on the hook. Now we're going to work 2 more double crochet, and we're going to leave the last loop of each stitch on the hook. Yarn over, insert into that same chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2. We're leaving that last loop on the hook. We need to do that one more time. Yarn over, insert into that same chain 1 space, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2. We're leaving that last loop of the stitch on the hook. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Again, this first set of 3 double crochet together is different because of how we started that first stitch. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to start the repeat. So if you need help, you're just going to click back on the video to where I say this is the start of the repeat, work until I say this is the end of the repeat, and you're going to do that around the entire round 2. So let's begin. You're going to yarn over the hook, you're going to skip that next double crochet, insert into the next chain 1 space, and again I'm only working over the strand of white. You're going to yarn over, pull through that chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through 2. You have 2 loops on your hook and you're leaving the last loop of that double crochet on your hook. Yarn over, insert back into that same chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2. You have 3 loops on your hook and you're leaving that last loop of that last double crochet made on your hook. You need to have 3 double crochet, so we need to do it one more time. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops only. Now you can see you have your 3 double crochet and you left the last loop of each stitch on your hook. You have a total of 4 loops. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and that is the end of the repeat. Very simple. Just take your time and it's very easy to do. So I'm going to do that repeat with you one more time. You're going to yarn over the hook, insert into that next chain 1 space, and again I'm working right underneath that extra strand of yarn. You're going to yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops only. You have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert back into that same chain 1 space, yarn over and pull back through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops only. You have 2 double crochet, leaving those last loops of each of those stitches on your hook. We need to do 1 more double crochet, yarn over, insert into that same chain 1 space, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops only. When you look at your work, you can see you have 3 double crochet and you left the last loop of each stitch on your hook. You have a total of 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and that is the end of the repeat. So go ahead and repeat 3 double crochet together and then a chain 2 in each chain 1 space around, and I will meet you at the end of round 2. I'm over at the end of round 2. You should have ended with 3 double crochet together in that last chain 1 space and then end with a chain 2. So before I join, I just flip this over and I'm just going to clip that piece of white that I crocheted over, and then I'm going to join. I'm going to come up to the very top of those 3 double crochet together. You can see the top of that stitch. Just follow that center stitch up. You'll see that wider stitch, how it's a little bit bigger. Insert underneath the top 2 loops of that stitch and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. And again, you can use your own preferred method of how you fasten off. Round 2 is finished, so now I'm going to grab my white and we're going to begin round 3. So we're ready to begin round 3. So for round 3, we're only going to be working in the chain 2 spaces around. We're going to skip the 3 double crochet together and be working in the chain 2 spaces. You're going to insert your hook into that first chain 2 space, and I'm using white, and I'm going to leave about a 6 to 8 inch length. I'm just going to butt my white right up against my work, grab that white and pull it right through that chain 2 space, and I'm going to start with the chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. This beginning chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. I'm going to leave this end hang, and I'm just going to secure that when I'm all done with my work. It's already secured. I'll just be weaving it in on the back, in and out through these stitches. Now we're going to work 4 double crochet into this same beginning chain 2 space. Yarn over, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. That's one of 4. Yarn over, insert back into that chain 2 space, work your second double crochet, yarn over, insert back into that same space, work your third double crochet, yarn over, insert back into that same chain 2 space, and work your fourth double crochet. So you have your beginning chain 3, which counts as the first double crochet, and then you've worked 4 double crochet for a total of 5 stitches. So this is a very simple repeat for round 3. All we're going to do is work 5 double crochet in each chain 2 space around. Now we're going to start the repeat. Now I worked over my end here and secured it under those stitches, but now I'm going to leave it hang in the back, and when I'm all done with my dishcloth, I'll come back and I'll knot this and weave it in and out through my stitches. So now we're going to continue and start the repeat. You're going to yarn over the hook, you're going to skip that next 3 double crochet stitch, insert into that next chain 2 space, and you're going to work 5 double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is the end of the repeat. A very easy repeat for this round. Let me show you one more time. You're going to yarn over, you're going to skip that next 3 double crochet together stitch, insert into that next chain 2 space, and you're going to work 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is the end of the repeat. So go ahead and repeat. Skip the next 3 double crochet stitch, insert into the next chain 2 space, and work 5 double crochet. Repeat that around. I will meet you at the end of round 3 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 3, and you should have worked 5 double crochet in each chain 2 space around. So to join the round, we're just going to go up and slip stitch into the top of that beginning chain 3. Count up 1, 2, 3, insert into the top of that beginning chain 3, and slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. So now we're getting ready to start round 4, and round 4 might be the hardest part of this dishcloth. We're going to begin by using the white, and you're going to chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. It's just giving us a little bit of height to start our round. So now we're going to start and work a half double crochet into the same joining stitch. But we're going to be changing our color over to our next color. So it depends what color you're using. I'm using pink. So we're going to yarn over with the white, insert into that same joining stitch, yarn over, and pull through that stitch. Now I'm going to join my pink. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to tie my pink onto my white. I just use a double knot. I'm going to make that a little bit longer. There we go. Pull it down to your work, and then flip your work back over. And yes, those nasty ends, but again, I'll weave them all in and you won't see them when I'm done. It's up to you how you hold your yarn. We're working with 2 strands, but we're only working with 1 at a time. So we worked that first half of that half double crochet, and now we're going to grab our pink and we're going to finish the stitch and pull that pink color through, or whatever color you're using as your second color. So when you look at your stitch, you can see that that stitch was finished. The top of that stitch should be the same color as the base of the stitch. So now we have our pink, and that's the next color for the next stitch. You're going to yarn over, insert into the next stitch. You can drop your white out of the way if you prefer. Yarn over with the pink, pull it through that stitch. You have 3 pink loops on your hook. Now you're going to grab your white to finish the stitch. You're always going to change colors before you pull that last loop through. Yarn over with the white and pull through the 3 pink loops. And then when you look at your work, you can see that your stitch is finished with the correct color. The top of the stitch should match the bottom of the stitch. So we worked 1/2 double crochet in the first 2 stitches. Now we're going to work 2 stitches, 2 half double crochet into this next stitch. One will be white and one will be pink, and we're going to work them both into that same stitch. You're going to yarn over with the white, insert into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through. Just let your white drop, grab your pink, yarn over with the pink and pull through the 3 white loops. Your white half double crochet is made. You're going to yarn over with the pink, insert back into that same stitch, yarn over with the pink and pull through that same stitch. You have 3 pink loops on your hook. Now you're going to grab your white yarn, yarn over with the white and pull through the pink loops. Again, you can see that your stitch is the same color on top as it is on the base. So you work 2 half double crochet into that stitch, but each one is a different color. So now we're going to go ahead and start the repeat. We're just repeating what we just done. We're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 half double crochet into the next stitch, and you change colors with each stitch. So let's begin. Now when I see that this stitch might be a little loose, I kind of tighten that up a little bit. You're going to yarn over with the white, insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 white loops. Go ahead and grab that pink, yarn over with the pink and pull through the 3 white loops. Your first white half double crochet is made. Yarn over with the pink, insert into that next stitch, yarn over with the pink and pull through that stitch. You have 3 pink loops on your hook. You're going to grab the white, yarn over and pull through the 3 pink loops. Now we're going to work 2 stitches, 2 half double crochet stitches into this next stitch, changing colors with each stitch. Yarn over with the white, insert into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through. Grab your pink, yarn over with the pink and pull through the 3 white loops on your hook. Yarn over with the pink, insert into that same stitch, yarn over with the pink and pull through. You have 3 pink loops on your hook. Grab your white, yarn over with the white and pull through the 3 pink loops. And that is the end of the repeat. Because this is a little bit different, and if you've never changed colors before, I'm going to go ahead and work this repeat one more time with you. Again, we're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 half double crochet into this next stitch, and we're changing colors with each stitch we do. So let's begin the repeat again. Yarn over with the white, insert into that next stitch, yarn over with the white and pull it through. You have 3 white loops on your hook. You're going to grab your pink. Make sure you just pull a little bit and tighten up your tension so you have a nice uniform look. Yarn over with the pink and pull through the 3 white loops. Yarn over with the pink, insert into that next stitch. Yarn over with the pink and pull it through the stitch. You have 3 pink loops on your hook. You're going to grab your white, yarn over and pull through all 3 pink loops. Now we're going to work 2 half double crochet into this next stitch, changing colors with each stitch. You're going to yarn over with the white, insert into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 white loops on your hook. Grab your pink strand of yarn, yarn over and pull through the 3 white loops on the hook. And again, when you look at your work, the top of your stitch should always be the same color as the base. If it's not, you did it wrong, and check the video on how you need to correct your mistake. We need to make 1 more stitch, and we're going to make a half double crochet into the same space. You're going to yarn over with the pink, insert into that same stitch as the last stitch worked, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 pink loops on your hook. You're going to drop that pink, pick up your white strand of yarn, and again, if you have to, just make sure it's nice and snug, yarn over and pull through all 3 pink loops on your hook. And that is the end of the repeat. If you need help, just click back on the video and start where I say this is the start of the repeat. Work until I say this is the end of the repeat. So continue working the repeat around. I will meet you at the end of round 4 and show you how to join. I'm back. I'm over at the end of round 4. Then you still have 1 stitch remaining. So what you're going to do in that last stitch is we're working 2 half double crochet into that last stitch, and we're changing colors with each stitch. So let's go ahead and finish this round. You're going to grab your white, yarn over, insert into that last stitch, yarn over and pull through the white. You have 3 loops of white on your hook. You're going to grab your pink, yarn over with the pink and pull through the 3 white loops. Our first stitch is made of the 2, and now we're going to work our pink half double crochet into that same stitch. Yarn over with the pink, insert into that same last stitch, yarn over with the pink and pull through that stitch. You're going to grab your white and you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 pink loops on your hook. We're going to go ahead and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that beginning half double crochet. So just find that first stitch. Remember that chain 1 did not count as a stitch, so you're going right underneath the top 2 loops of that first white half double crochet. Insert underneath both of those top loops, yarn over, pull through that stitch and pull through the loop on your hook. Now I'm going to fasten off my pink, so I'm going to leave a little bit longer length so I can weave that in. And what I'm going to do is, because I have the white on my hook, is I'm just going to take this pink and I'm going to go ahead and tie it right to my white to secure it for now. And then I'll weave that in. Now I went ahead and weaved in my ends because it was a little distracting. So just tie that pink right to the white when you fasten it off. And then we can weave this in to those stitches on the back when we're finished with our dishcloth. And then just flip your work back over. Now we're going to begin round 5, and we're going to start round 5 with the chain 2, 1, 2. Now this beginning chain 2 will count as your first half double crochet. We're going to work 1 half double crochet, a chain 2, and 2 half double crochet all into the same white beginning stitch. Yarn over the hook, insert back into that same stitch. I just go right underneath that loop right there, yarn over, pull back through that stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You just made your half double crochet. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to work 2 half double crochet into that same stitch, and we're making a shell stitch. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert into that same stitch and work your second half double crochet. When you look at your work, your shell stitch is made. Your beginning chain 2 counts as the first half double crochet, then you have a half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet into that same stitch. So now we're going to go ahead and start the repeat. We're skipping the next 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to be working into that next white half double crochet. So the easiest way I was thinking when I was doing this pattern is that you're working 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet in every other white stitch. So let's go ahead and start the repeat. You're going to yarn over, you're going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. You're going to insert into that next white stitch. So when you're working this pattern, you're always going to be going into a white stitch. So it will be every other white stitch. We're going to work 2 half double crochet, 1, insert into that same stitch, work your second half double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, and work 2 half double crochet. There's 1, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, and work your second half double crochet. You made your shell stitch. 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and that is the end of the repeat. So let me do it one more time. Very easy round this round. Yarn over the hook. You're going to skip those next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, insert into that next white stitch, work 2 half double crochet. There's 1, yarn over, insert back into that same stitch, work your second half double crochet. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, work 2 half double crochet. There's 1, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, and work your second half double crochet. So that is the end of the repeat. So go ahead and repeat. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, work 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet into that next stitch. Skip the next 3 stitches, insert into the next stitch, work 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet. Work that around your round 5 until you get to the last 3 stitches. I'll meet you there and I'll show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 5, and you should have ended with your 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet shell in the 4th stitch from the end, and then you have 3 remaining unworked stitches. So now we're just going to go ahead and join to the top of that beginning chain 2. Our first chain is down in here, so there's 1. Go up to the second chain, insert your hook into that chain, and work a slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that chain, and pull it through the loop on your hook. Round 5 is finished, and this is what your work should look like. Now we're going to go ahead and begin round 6, and we want to start in this chain 2 space, so we're going to slip stitch into that next half double crochet, insert into the top of that next stitch, under the top 2 loops of that stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. We still need to be in that chain 2 space, insert into that next chain 2 space, and slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it underneath the chain 2 space, and through the loop on your hook. Now you can see that we're where we need to be to start the next round. So to start round 6, we're going to start with the chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And this beginning chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to work 2 double crochet, a chain 2, and then 3 double crochet all into this same chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and we're working 2 double crochet. There's one. Yarn over, insert into that same chain 2 space, work your second double crochet. Now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We're going to work 3 more double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work 3 double crochet. There's one. Yarn over, insert into that same space, work your second double crochet. Yarn over, insert into the same space, and work your third double crochet. We made a 3 double crochet shell stitch. That first double crochet was the chain 3, then we worked 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. So now what we're going to do is we're only going to be working in the center chain 2 space of each shell around. So we're skipping all the stitches in between and only working in these chain 2 spaces of each shell. We're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet in each chain 2 space around. So if you need help, this is the start of the repeat. You're going to work the repeat until I say this is the end of the repeat, and then you're going to repeat it around row 6. So let's begin. Yarn over the hook, go to your next chain 2 space of the next shell stitch, insert your hook, and work 3 double crochet. There's one. Yarn over, insert into that same space, and work your second double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same space, and work your third double crochet. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to work 3 more double crochet into the center of this chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work 3 double crochet. There's one. Yarn over, insert into that same space, work your second double crochet. Yarn over, insert into that same space, and work your third double crochet. And that is the end of the repeat. So I'll show you one more time. Again, this is the start of the repeat. You're going to yarn over, find your next shell stitch. You're going to insert right into the center in that chain 2 space, and you're going to work 3 double crochet. There's one, 2, and 3. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work 3 more double crochet all in this same chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And that is the end of the repeat. So you're working 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and you're going to do that in each chain 2 space of each shell around until you get to the end of round 6. I'll meet you there and I'll show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 6, and when you look at your work, you should have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet shell in the center of each shell below, and this is what your work looks like. So now we're going to go ahead and join the round. We're going to slip stitch into the top of that beginning chain 3, so count up 1, 2, 3, insert your hook into the top of that beginning chain 3, yarn over, pull through that chain, and pull through the loop on your hook. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off my white, and I like to leave a nice long length. Now I chain 2, and again you can fasten off in whichever manner you prefer. I'll weave this in later when I'm all done with my dishcloth. I'm going to grab my pink and I'll be back and we'll get round 7 started. So now we're going to start round 7. So this is where we joined off. And now we're going to insert our hook into this first chain 2 space. So you're going to skip those first 3 double crochet, insert your hook into that first chain 2 space. You're going to grab your accent color. In my case, it's the pink. So I'm going to leave about a 6 to 8 inch length like I always do. And I'm just going to grab that yarn and pull it through. I'm going to start with the chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work 6 double crochet into this same beginning chain 2 space. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same space, and work your first double crochet. That's 1 of 6. Yarn over, insert back into that same space, work your second double crochet. I'm going to continue and just count. That was 2 of 6. We're working 4 more into that same beginning chain 2 space. So that was 3 of 6, 4, 5, and 6. So when you look at your work, you'll have your beginning chain 3 as the first stitch, and then 6 additional double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which makes a total of 7 stitches, all in that same beginning chain 2 space. Now we're going to skip the next 3 double crochet, and we're going to work a single crochet between the skip 3 double crochet and the first stitch of that next group. So insert your hook between the skip 3 stitches and that next stitch right between those stitches, which would be the 3rd and 4th stitch, and work a single crochet. So we're working right between the 2 shell stitches. So now we're going to go ahead and start the repeat. So if you need help, you're going to click back on the video to this point where I say this is the start of the repeat, and you're going to work until I say this is the end of the repeat, and you're going to repeat that around. So let's begin. You're going to yarn over, you're going to skip those next 3 double crochet, insert into that next chain 2 space, and we're going to work 7 double crochet. There's 1, 2, and we're working all 7 stitches in the same chain 2 space. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can just take just a quick second and make sure you count 2, 4, 6, and 7. You're going to skip those next 3 double crochet, and you're going to insert your hook between the skip 3 and that next stitch right in between the 2 shell stitches. Insert into that space and work a single crochet. And that is the end of the repeat. I'll show you one more time and then you can continue around. You're going to yarn over, you're going to skip the next 3 double crochet, insert into the chain 2 space of that shell stitch, and work 7 double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just do a double stitch count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to skip the next 3 double crochet stitches. Insert your hook between the skip 3 and that next stitch, right between both shells in that space, and work a single crochet. And that is the end of the repeat. So click back on the video. If you need help, you're going to skip the next 3 double crochet, work 7 double crochet into this next chain 2 space, skip the next 3 double crochet, and work a single crochet between the 2 shell stitches between the skip 3 and that next stitch. Repeat that around, and I will meet you at the end of round 7 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 7. This is what your work should look like. This is your front side of your work. This is the back side. I already weaved my ends in as I went, so it didn't confuse you too much with all those ends. So I'm going to flip it back over, and now we're going to join our round. You should have a total of 7 double crochet in the center of each shell, and then a single crochet between each shell in the row below. So let's join. We're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of that beginning chain 3. Count up 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into the top of that chain 3 and slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that chain, and pull it through the loop on your hook. We're going to fasten off, and round 7 is finished. Again, you can fasten off using whichever method you prefer. So I just chain 2, pull down, and it creates a secure knot. So now we're going to start round 8, our final round, and I'm going to go ahead and join right into the top of this joining stitch. I'm going right into that little hole on the left side of my knot. I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to leave about a 6 to 8 inch length of my white, and I'm just going to pull that white through. We're going to start with the chain 1. We're going to insert our hook into the very next stitch, and we're going to work a slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch, and pull it through the loop on your hook. We're just putting a very delicate edging around our dishcloth. So let's begin the repeat. It's a very simple repeat. You're going to chain 1. You're going to insert into that next stitch and work a slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through the stitch, and pull it through the loop on your hook. And that is the end of the repeat. So let's do it a couple more times. You're going to chain 1, insert into the next stitch, and slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch, and pull it through the loop on your hook. That is the end of the repeat. Let's do it again. You're going to chain 1, insert into that next stitch, and slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull through that stitch, and pull through the loop on your hook. It just creates a very delicate stitch. Let me grab this one. You can see how it creates that nice little edging around your dishcloth. So go ahead and repeat around. You're going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 1, slip stitch into the next stitch. Continue around. I will meet you at the end of round 8, and I'll show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 8. I just worked my last slip stitch into the last stitch around. This is what your work should look like. Very nice little delicate edging around your dishcloth. And now we're going to finish. So we're going to finish, and we're going to chain 1, and you're going to slip stitch into that first slip stitch. This is our beginning chain 1 here, so insert right into the top of that first slip stitch that you made. It's a little tight, so you really have to push your hook in through that stitch. And I tried to get both of those pieces of yarn, and like I said, this first stitch is really tight. I tend to do that. I really get tight sometimes, and just slip stitch into that first slip stitch of the round. pull it through that stitch and pull it through the loop on your hook. I'm just going to fasten off. And you just take your yarn needle and you weave those ends in through the back of your work, matching those colors up. So this is the front of our work. So your dishcloth is finished. It might, pucker a little. Just pat it down with your hands and it'll lay flat. So that's the front of your work. This is the back of your work. You're going to take your yarn needle and you just weave that stitch right through the white stitch and then weave it underneath. You can work it down into these stitches if you wish. Just bring it down through here and then weave it in through those stitches. So that's it. That's our little Christmas dishcloth. This is the one for Christmas with the red and white. So just a fun little pattern. And again, if you don't want to change those colors in every stitch, it's a little time consuming. You can pick a Christmas multicolor and use a multicolor around here if you prefer. And then you only have to single crochet in each stitch. Let me zoom out just a little more so you can see that full dishcloth. There's our red one for Christmas. We just made the pink one today in our tutorial. This is that beautiful one made using the multicolor. I just really like this for the spring. I like rainbow colors, so I'll like this no matter what. And then I made that one where we used the blue and the yellow, two solid colors together instead of using white. So those are our samples for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click that like button. The pattern for this dishcloth is in the description box. You can click that link and it'll take you right to our website, creativegrandma.net. We also have a few of these kits remaining, so if you wanted that kit, the link is in the description box as well. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the crochet fun. So until next time, happy crocheting everyone!